Welcome to the Occupational Safety Leadership Podcast, episode number 116. In today's episode, we're going to look at the top 5 excuses that I found for working unsafely. So I started to look at a couple of these artificial intelligence applications, we'll call them programs, whatever you want to call them, and me and my son were always joking like we should type in like excuses for not working out, excuses for eating a donut, and I thought, hey, I should do excuses for working unsafely. Uh, some of these I haven't heard, but in looking at the compilation, this kind of seems like it was the top 5 on a lot of the different platforms. It's coming from some form of consistent data out there and all that. So let's just kind of dive right in and hear what AI says is the top 5 excuses for working unsafely. So the first one, I've done this 100 times before without incident. I've heard that same thing before, not quite put that same way. I've heard people say, yeah, but I've done it before. It's going to be fine. So there's a little caveat on that one. The second one, safety procedures take too much time and slow down productivity. I haven't heard that one outright. I've heard people talk about it as I walked into a room, but I haven't heard anybody say that one outright. So I definitely know that that one is being said and probably being used out there. So the third one, I didn't think it was a big deal. I've heard that one before. You know, um, looking at the fourth one, nobody else is following safety protocols. Why should I? I have not heard that one, but if this one is actually true, not that I would say that it's a good excuse or a good reason. I'd have to sit down and really go back and look at the workforce and look at the things I have in place because if this is a systemic problem with a lot of people not following it, not that the person's right, but that also means that we should sit down and listen to this and go back and really investigate. And the fifth one, I am too busy uh, to worry about safety right now. So I haven't heard that one before. Um, I can picture people saying that since I do know a lot of people who claim they're really busy. Um, so I could see that somebody would use that one out there. Um, so that's it for this week's nice and short and sweet. I'll wrap up the top 5 again. So number 1, I've done this 100 times before without incident. Number 2, safety procedures take too much time and slow down productivity. Number 3, I didn't think it was a big deal. Number 4, nobody else is following safety protocols, so why should I? And finally, the fifth one, I'm too busy to worry about safety right now. So I'm going to go back and see if I can talk to others and see if maybe they have some ones that I have not heard of. So I've heard of about half of these from different angles. Uh, but the one thing that we should always do when somebody has some form of excuse or reasoning is we should sit down and understand why that person thought it was okay. There has to be a reason out there. So we're all flawed humans. We have made bad judgment at times, and that doesn't mean that you're excusing it away or trying to reason, but there has to be a reason why somebody thinks the way they think. So maybe they're actually speaking the truth. We need to understand that, hear that for what it is, and go back and really put things in place to make sure that it's just not something that's very prevalent in the workplace, and we just happen to stumble upon one person who was doing it, who then gave us a excuse or a reason. So, um, so that is it for episode number 116, top 5 excuses for working unsafely. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining me today. My name is Dr. David Ayers. Thank you and have a safe day.